Hello, so another one of my little videos. This one is all about the latent phase of labour. So labour is often kind of divided up, or we kind of break it down into distinct kind of stages and phases. And the first one is sometimes called early labour or the latent phase of labour. So this is the starting of this whole amazing process. So the latent phase of labour is when the cervix, which is the opening at the bottom of the uterus or the womb, first starts to soften and thin, and then it begins to open or dilate. And basically the cervix needs to open to give baby an exit to enable baby to be born. Okay, so currently when you're pregnant, it's tightly closed and it starts to soften and then open to give baby an exit strategy, basically. And the latent phase is from the start of labour, when you start feeling the sensations, and it ends when the cervix has thinned, or what's called effaced, and is then 3 to 4 centimetres open or dilated. So that is about the diameter of a banana. Okay, you don't need to know how faced or how open and dilated the cervix is. And so about a banana, you can kind of measure this 0 to 10 centimetres with all kinds of fruit, if you want to, not literally, but in your brain, in your mind, to get a kind of a picture of that. And if you've seen my video about the your womb and about the pear and the watermelon, you'll know I love a fruit analogy. So it's banana, okay, about that size dilated. You then enter, once your cervix is 3 to 4 centimetres dilated, you then move into what's called the active stage of labour. So you're progressing along the process. So this is still the process of the cervix opening more, dilating more. Both of those stages, latent and active, still the first stage of labour. And those two together, the latent stage and the active stage, are part one of the birth process. And then stage two, if you like, is the birthing, giving birth to your baby. Stage three is the placenta arriving. And that's the whole process. So the latent stage, this early stage, what does it feel like? So as the uterus undergoes a surge or a contraction, it can feel like your stomach is tightening. It can cause discomfort in the lower abdominal area. Sometimes it's described like a strong kind of period pain, but it's mild enough that you can speak through it. Also can be like in your back, like a backache pain, and some people can feel that with period pain as well. So it can be similar to that, but obviously everyone's period pain is different. So, you know, it's unique to each person. So it can be backache as well as accompanying these tightenings that are happening periodically. And the pattern of the tightenings can come and go in this early latent stage. So it might get into a regular pattern, maybe increasing in intensity, and then it might kind of disappear again and kind of tail off. So it can be quite stop-start, off-on. This is quite the erratic nature of early labour. It can go on for a number of days. It can possibly have these kind of twinges going on even for a week or so, on and off. Okay, not all the time, obviously, on and off. And through this latent stage, you might be looking at big gaps in between, and maybe the actual tightening, the surge, the contraction is maybe lasting 20, 30 seconds, something like that, maybe a bit longer. And these surges, contractions, are the layers of muscle that the uterus is composed of, tightening and then releasing. So as it tightens, the top part of the uterus thickens, and as the cervix at the opposite end thins, then it opens. And this is, as the birth process continues, the strength and the duration and the frequency of the tightenings and the releasings, i.e. the surges or the contractions, they increase in intensity and duration, become closer together, and they get into a pattern. And then you kind of know labour is really starting to get underway. These surges also, as well as thinning and opening the cervix, they're also helping to position, rotate and move baby as well inside the womb, so that baby's head is in a good position to move down through your pelvis. So there's lots of tiny things going on, okay? Lots and lots of things happening. Your body is very clever and doing lots of things to get baby in a good position, as well as get that cervix and that exit open. So as the latent phase progresses, you might find it becomes more intense, that you've really got to then focus on the surges. You might want to move. That might feel good, moving, swaying, moving your hips around, standing, walking. You might find you need to use your breath and your up breathing to keep focused and relax through the surge. And the frequency of the surges, the intensity, can be affected by your position or by activity. They often slow down when you're sitting, and they might increase when you're walking or moving. And that's sometimes why going for a walk is often suggested as something to do in early labour. But do what feels comfortable for you. That's kind of the key, or the most comfortable for you. People often say, well, what do I do? Okay, and we talk about this on my course, on my hypnobirthing and birth preparation course. What do we do in the latent phase of labour? Well, because it can take a while for your body to get into the swing of things, and often a first labour takes longer than a second or third, fourth labour. Distraction techniques initially can be really great in the latent phase of labour. So if it happens at night, sleeping and relaxing, a great idea if that's possible. So if the surges start at night, try to carry on resting despite the inevitable excitement, and perhaps also there's discomfort. Those first ones can feel quite sharp until the endorphin levels get ramped up. So if sleeping is difficult, then try and get as comfortable as possible. You can also start to practice your up breathing that I teach you, or listen to one of your relaxation tracks, the hypnobirthing tracks, as you get some rest in between the tightenings to conserve your energy. Focusing on the breathing helps to focus the mind, helps to relax the body, keeps you calm, as well as boosting your oxytocin levels and providing a good supply of oxygen to your uterus and your baby too, really important. Some women find using a hot water bottle can give comfort, or getting in a warm bath can be nice. You might want to use some relaxing lavender oil, could be in a diffuser, or in a massage oil. Getting a massage from your partner can be really nice. So that can help to calm you, reducing any kind of anxiety, worry and fear. So listening to one of the hypnobirthing relaxations, or your partner could read one to you. That can be great to do. Putting on a playlist you put together of music that you enjoy. If you have a TENS machine, and don't forget, I loan these out for free to people who've been on hypnobirthing and birth preparation courses too. It saves you quite a pocket of money to do that. It can help you manage the sensations through the latent stage. And also the light touch massage technique that I teach you also helps to boost the endorphins. Endorphins are the body's naturally produced painkillers that also help to reduce anxiety. So that can help you feel calm and manage the sensations better too. So there's lots of options. Eating and drinking. So if labour begins in the daytime particularly, or if you fancy a snack in the night and it happens at night, trying to get on with normal life, a great distraction technique. Just to get on with while your body does its amazing thing. So eating what you can, remembering to stay hydrated. Even if you can't eat, try and drink something so your body can work really effectively, but then remember to pee frequently too. It's always a job, I say, for birth partners to remind you to do that. It's great to eat energy-rich food like porridge and flapjack and energy bars, energy balls, those kind of things. Wholemeal toast with honey on, or peanut butter can be great. Seeds, dried fruits. Bananas, great. Think about tennis players when they change ends, often got a banana, great for energy. Relatively easy to digest too. You can eat sweets like jelly babies or chocolate or glucose energy, Lucozade sweets, anything like that. Whatever takes you fancy. If it makes you feel good and you enjoy it and you fancy it, then eat it. There's no right or wrong thing to do. So good food, or food that triggers positive, happy memories, also helps to boost oxytocin. And oxytocin is the key birth hormone that we want to promote as much as possible. Keeping moving can be great too. So getting on your birth ball or exercise ball can be great to do, moving and swaying, and that can feel more comfortable, so help you cope better. Circling your hips, moving in ways that get you through the surges, whatever instinctively feels good. Being active and moving around again helps you help baby and your uterus all get baby into the best position and a good position for birth. So you could go for a walk if you fancy it. You could dance around to some music. That feels good. That ups the oxytocin levels. Obviously, if you feel tired and want to take a nap, take a nap. It's really what feels good. You don't want to burn too much energy, but moving around, if that feels good, then do that. But if you need to sleep and can, do that. Go with your instinct. I can't kind of tell you that enough. Go with your instinct. And then anything to boost your oxytocin levels. This will really help in the latent stage. I mean, the whole of labour, but also while you're getting things underway. You want to boost your oxytocin levels. So oxytocin is the big player in the birthing process. It plays a part in the start of labour, controlling the surges all the way up and through to baby being born, and also is heavily involved once baby arrives with bonding and breastfeeding too. It's known as the love hormone, okay, as well as the cuddle hormone. Sometimes people call it the shy hormone. You get the picture. So we release oxytocin when we're happy, when we're relaxed, when we feel safe, people we love and connected with. So safety, privacy, all those things, really important. Things that can help you release oxytocin. So watching a funny film, listening to a comedy podcast, laughing produces oxytocin, getting a lovely massage from your partner, super relaxing, that feeling of connection and love, looking at photos from happy occasions or holidays or weddings or those kind of things makes you release oxytocin, eating delicious food, hugs, cuddles, kissing, singing releases oxytocin, dancing with your partner, all of those things that make you feel good. Okay, so whatever kind of takes your fancy. And then people often ask me in my course, how will I know, as we talk about this obviously in more detail, how will I know when I move from the latent stage to the active stage? How do I know that I'm banana dilation? How do I know that? You don't have to know that. And there's other ways, your midwife can tell you that if you want to go down that route in terms of having vaginal examinations. But when the tightenings, the surges increase in the strength and the intensity, when they become more regular in a pattern, as a guide, perhaps 3 surges in every 10 minutes that last 60 seconds, so a minute or so each time. Also, they become intense and it's very hard for you to speak through them. You've got to concentrate, you've got to breathe, you've got to move or kind of, hold on to something. They become really taking your attention and demand focus and breathing to get you through them. Each surge is similar to the last. The intensity tends to move higher up into your womb from lower to the top side. And this is when you move from latent to active labour. And the time that the latent phase takes, hugely variable. So I'm sorry I can't give you an answer. It takes as long as it takes, basically. That's not helpful, I know. Maybe it could take 6 hours, 12 hours is perhaps an average length. But it does tend to be longer with first-time mothers, shorter or perhaps not even really noticed or experienced at all for second and subsequent babies. But we're all different. Each baby and mother is different. So the duration can also depend on how worried you are, which is why I show you techniques to release fear and worry on my hypnobirthing and antenatal course. And it can also depend on baby's position, can affect the latent length, the latent stage. So moving, that I teach you using the birth ball, being more active, things that I teach in my pregnancy yoga classes will all help you optimally position your baby to help them move into a better position for their birth. Of course, if you have any worries at all and you're not sure what stage of labour you're in, you can always at any point call your midwife or call triage or the home birth team or whoever it is that is supporting you in your labour, in your birth. And I hope that helps you understand a little bit more about the birth process, because as I always say on my no bullshit antenatal and hypnobirthing courses, knowledge about labour and birth is really important. That is what gives you the confidence in your body, in yourself about what's happening. So being educated and understanding that is so important. So I'll be doing another video, hopefully not as long. This has taken a while, hasn't it? About the active stage of labour, one about the birthing stage, one about placenta really soon. If you stayed to the end, well done. You deserve a banana or maybe some chocolate. Thank you. Any questions, just let me know. You can message me, you can email me, and catch you soon for another video. Thanks, everyone.